So the whole trick is to think backwards. Okay, I'm gonna make this as simple as I possibly can because this is an advanced concept. So I'm just gonna say one complicated thing and then we're gonna jump right into how to actually use it. The function of the diminished chord is for tension before a release. So the diminished chord itself functions as the tension chord, and the release chord is the next chord that's played after it. So you just need to know what the release chord is, and then we can learn how to place the diminished chord in front of it. The trick is to think backwards. So in this case, our release chord is F minor. So this minor chord that you've seen a million times before. Okay. The tension chord that comes in front of it is this. Okay. That's all you really need to know, is if you're going to this chord here, this F minor 7, the tension or the diminished chord that you're going to put in front of it is placed right there. Let's go through another position of F. So here's the other position of F that's really common, and we'll see where the diminished chord functions right in front of that. It's right here. Okay, so we're in the 9, 8, 9, 8, and that goes back to this position. So if you just know those, and then this one, that gives you your spots for the diminished tension chord. Let's do one more of those. So in case you're coming all the way up here to this F minor in the 13th position, the diminished chord is kind of right below it. 12, 11, 12, 11 resolves up to 13th position F minor. In this blues example that I played, we're playing a blues in F minor. So that means the 1 chord is F minor, the 4 chord is B flat minor, okay? And then for the turnaround, since the chords are already interesting, we don't need to put a bunch of tension chords in front of it because it's already interesting enough. Let's look at the diminished chord to be placed in front of the B flat. So look at the shapes. So let's look at our straight line shape, meaning this shape that looks like this, where you have this kind of straight line across. B flat minor, like we did with F. This is the straight line shape. Okay, so we're up, our pinky is up 2 frets from where we're gonna land on. So we're on 2, 3, 2, 3, that goes to the 1s. So if we're up here in the 6th position, okay, that's B flat. Look at the shape of this. This is where our first finger is. So the pinky needs to be 2 frets above that. See how that works? Okay, and then we also learned that you can also be right below it. So 5, 4, 5, 4 resolves to the 6th position here. So then finally we have, this B flat that we're using in the 1st position. And remember our shape that we played up here for F minor? It's kind of right above where that first finger is. So here we do the same thing. Okay, so it's important to know what the chord that we're going to is, and then you place the correct diminished chord in front of it. Now this chord progression that I'm using for this minor blues example comes from the song Interplay by Bill Evans. I found it in the real book, and we're not actually playing the song, I'm just using the chord progression loosely as an example of a minor blues to start to put these diminished chords in front of it. So I'm just going to play the basic progression before we add all the diminished substitutes. So this is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, F minor, 2, 3, 4, F minor, 3rd bar, then we go to F7, and then to B flat, minor, going back to F minor. Okay, and then we do this G flat minor 7 flat 5 to a C, the flat 9, C 7 flat 9, F minor, D minor 7 flat 5, D flat major 7, G flat major 7, back to F. Okay. I'm going to slow that turnaround down for you. The last 4 bars where we have a lot of weird stuff going on. This is basically kind of this is a minor 2-5-1. This comes up in jazz. If that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry about it. But this is a common phrase. So we have G minor 7 flat 5, 2, 3. This moves over to C7, flat 9, back to the turnaround. F minor 7, D minor 7 flat 5, D major 7, D flat major 7 to G flat major 7. Okay, so that's the interesting turnaround that we're putting at the end. And now, to kind of spice things up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting, so I'm not just playing the chord progression, I'm writing some jazz lines. And the main way I'm doing that in this etude is by using F blues scale over the F minor chord. Those notes for F minor. I'm also adding the 9th. This note is a nice note to add when you're playing blues stuff, especially jazz blues type things. So that's the main thing I'm doing on F minor, but occasionally I'm also playing an A flat major 7 arpeggio over F minor. This is something that's important to know because this is the relative major of F minor. Now chords, they have relative major and minor. So if you just find the relative major of a chord, which is up 3 frets from the original minor chord, that's the relative major, and then you can play a major 7 arpeggio from that note, A flat. And those notes is the inharmonic equivalent of F minor 9. So basically it is just basically F minor 7 with adding the 9th. So that's a nice chord shape that you can play. And you can kind of mess around with the notes from that arpeggio, or even just be thinking totally A flat major and just play stuff from the A flat major scale. Remember, those are inharmonic, meaning they contain the same notes. It's just a different thought process. One of the other arpeggio substitutes I'm using is over the G minor 7 flat 5. Okay, this is an interesting chord that does come up quite a bit in jazz, and we'll need something to play over it. So here what we'll do is substitute a major 7 arpeggio starting on the flat 5 interval from this chord. So here is the root, 3rd fret. The flat 5 interval is going to be right that diagonal line, 3rd fret, to the 4th fret of the next string. Okay, this is where G minor 7 flat 5 started, G. Okay, and then we want to go to this note, which is the flat 5 interval, and then we're going to play major 7 from there. Okay, you can also add the 6th on that. Okay, and that gives you some cool phrases that you can play, and an easier way to think about it instead of thinking, what are the notes that I'm going to need to play for G minor 7 flat 5? Just find the flat 5 interval and play the major 7 arpeggio. Okay. The last thing I'm doing is over a B minor 7. I'm just playing a B minor 7 arpeggio, but I'm doing it in an interesting way where I kind of will play it sliding all the way up to this. Basically kind of, this is the 9th fret, but I'm in the 6th position of the that minor blues scale that everybody knows. So from here, now I'm in our minor pentatonic blues box that everybody likes. Those are the arpeggio subs that I'm using. Take a listen to the etude again and see if you can spot where I'm using all those things. And the main idea for this stuff, guys, is for you to be able to take these concepts and to create your own minor blues jazz improvisation like I did. So have fun with this, take your time on it, and don't expect things too fast on this. This is a complicated subject, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of mental preparation to be able to do stuff like this, but it's really satisfying and it's really fun to do. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys, and that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.